Viewers, the NDA has delivered a stunning result in Bihar, riding what can only be called a BJP wave. Yes, a BJP wave to secure an unprecedented fifth term. A BJP wave because the party has not only beaten expectations but has actually outperformed its own senior partner, the JDU. It's a throwback to 2010 when the BJP won 91 seats. Only this time the strike rate is sharply higher, and you can see the numbers on your screens, viewers. The BJP at 89% strike rate. That means for every seat it actually fought, it almost won it, barring the one seat out of 10 contests. So that's the big strike rate. JDU not very far behind, but still significantly enough in percentage terms to ensure that the BJP ends up with more seats than it. The other untold story is, of course, the conversion. As you can see, the smaller parties, the LJP contributing substantially, 68%, reposing the faith that was placed upon them by the senior leadership of the NDA, which of course involves both the Prime Minister and Nitish Kumar when it came to actually spreading out the largesse of seats, so to speak. The Bihar heroics of the NDA cap a period of stunning return to electoral form for a party and an alliance that suffered an unforeseen setback in the 2024 Lok Sabha election. And the Prime Minister credits his government's untiring resolve to bring development to the voters' doorstep. Fastest growth in household consumption among large states in the last 10 years. In 2015, for example, the poverty rate in Bihar was 41%. Today, it's at 4%. So you can already see a huge number of people that have been brought out of poverty in Bihar in just 10 years. Bihar is the second fastest growing state in GSDP terms. And Prime Minister Modi highlighted his record in bringing, as he said, governance to the doorstep. Listen in.
ये अटूट विश्वास बिहार के लोगों ने बिल्कुल गर्दा उड़ा दिया है। पूरा ये बिहार ने आज बता दिया है, फिर एक बार एनडीए सरकार, फिर एक बार। लेकिन आज मैं फिर कहना चाहता हूं, मैं कहूंगा वापस नहीं आएगी कट्टा सरकार। बिहार के लोगों ने विकसित बिहार के लिए मतदान किया है। बिहार के लोगों ने समृद्ध बिहार के लिए मतदान किया है। मैंने चुनाव प्रचार के दौरान बिहार की जनता से रिकॉर्ड वोटिंग के लिए आग्रह किया था और बिहार के लोगों ने सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ दिए।
Records were broken, says Prime Minister Modi. Bihar is, of course, not a one-off. Look at the sequence. The BJP crossed its own best in Haryana, scoring a historic hat-trick in October 2025. In Maharashtra, it notched its highest-ever vote share, 26.7% in November 2024. And earlier this year, in February, the party returned to power in Delhi, the thumping majority after 27 long years. What ties all these victories together is the same thing the BJP is leaning on in Bihar, Narendra Modi's persona. These campaigns were built around leadership, credibility and governance guarantees, and this is where the larger story emerges. Now viewers, around the world, incumbents are being thrown out with remarkable force. So why does brand Modi buck the trend? Because the data shows Modi has been able to transcend traditional identity fault lines in Bihar. The NDA is close to 50% vote share threshold, a clear sign of non-traditional voters coming together. In Simanchal, the heart of RJD's Muslim Yadav bastion, the RJD's leads are down to just 3 seats, while the BJP at 7 has punched far above its weight. In Maharashtra, Haryana, the BJP ate into Maratha and Jat votes, and in 2024 Lok Sabha election, brand Modi attracted 58% of OBCs, 35% of Dalits and 45% of Adivasis, even though the BJP didn't do as well as it was expecting to. This broadening coalition is pushing the opposition, especially the Congress under Rahul Gandhi, into an increasingly sectarian corner. And the Prime Minister referred to it as such. He says that the Congress has become a Maoist Muslim party, a Maoist Muslim League, CMML as he said. Which means, viewers, its footprint, its social footprint is shrinking, and this is triggering an existential crisis. We're going to discuss all of these issues that have arisen today out of this election result. The trust that Modi evokes today, many are saying, is the latest proof of his credibility quotient in action. And let's open this up. And I want to first begin with you, Mr. Dasgupta. What makes brand Modi resist anti-incumbency when many world leaders seem a lot more susceptible? We're seeing this across the world.
Well, part of it is a very targeted form of governance, which has been in evidence in all these places. But I think we shouldn't underestimate the importance of election management. And I think what has been there, one of the hallmarks of the BJP, particularly ever since Amit Shah took over, and I've seen him in action very closely, is that his point is that you must always aspire at a constituency level or at a national level, or at a state level, to get 50%. Not that it's always achieved, but that's always been the target. And whatever has to be done to get that it is getting chota castes together, forming social alliances, etc. That's the thing. That you don't necessarily win only because you've given a good record of governance. You win because because you can have your arithmetic and your strategy right, and secondly, you can motivate your karyakartas. If you notice one thing about Modi's speech, and this is not only from this speech, but it's been there, that it's always the deification of the karyakartas, making the karyakartas feel good, telling them, look, you're a small guy today, but you can be a completely unknown guy, but you can be chief minister tomorrow. And that's what's happened. Which has happened, not with mixed results, I would say. Yeah. It's not always been a happy outcome. And the geographical expansion of the BJP which has taken place, I would actually point out two places. Assam, where they've consolidated themselves now, and secondly, Orissa, which was a remarkable, I would say it was a fluke victory. I think they themselves were surprised that it happened. But in any case, it was the point is that you've got a presence. You've got a presence, you've got an approach.
People can get the social engineering right. You can argue, and I want to bring in Shahzad Poonawala, the Bharatiya Janata Party national spokesperson on this. You could argue that, look, the RJD did a fantastic job of sort of pulling in the right caste and so forth and fitting people here and there.
They didn't.
I'm just saying, anecdotally speaking.
Look at it. Yeah. RJD, at one time, Lalu built a coalition of the underdogs, as it were. Now, increasingly, many of those elements of the underdogs have moved away, and they've become a part of the BJP
election
coalition.
Management is important. The credibility factor, however, is perhaps the icing on the cake. Mr. Poonawala, would you agree? And that's where the other side lacks, because yes, you might do the arithmetic, you might even get your caste combinations right. Look, in Maharashtra, Haryana, perhaps you did. Now, there are obviously debates about how effective that was on the opposition side of the fence. But fundamentally, the voter doesn't seem to accept what you have to offer. Why, in your view, is this the case? And then I'll bring the reaction in from the Congress side of the fence. Yes, Mr. Poonawala.
First of all, Rahul, let me use your platform to thank the people of Bihar for the historic mandate that they have given the NDA in the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. And if you break down this election very objectively, this election represented two sides which were at a contest. One side represented what I call as SIM, and the other side represented DIM. Now you'll say, what is SIM and DIM? SIM represents this brand of Sushasan of Modi, integrity of Modi coupled with the integrity of Nitish Kumar ji, and M stands for machinery, manpower and Mahila Sashaktikaran template. If you see the manpower and machinery management of the BJP, the way Amit Shah ji was on the ground, taking so many rallies, organizing and ensuring the rebels don't affect us, and the Mahila Sashaktikarana template, and I don't want to go into detail because it is well known across the country. On the other hand, there was DIM. DIM represents D for Dinas. The other side was filled with these namdars whose only claim to fame is their inherited legacies. I for infighting, no mission, no vision for Bihar. It was only about their ambition. And M for Mafia Katta Raj, what they represented. And therefore the people of Bihar made a conscious choice. And this is not a fluke, by the way, Rahul. Just look at this 2014 phenomenon which I call Modi means pro-incumbency. Modi has now come to become equated with this term called pro-incumbency, which we never used before 2014 because every 5 years governments were changing. Whether it's the central government, whether it's Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Tripura, Assam, or now Bihar, governments are repeated because of PDA. PDA meaning performance, delivery, and aspirational quotient. And these are the factors that make the Modi magic click, and it has clicked once again in Bihar. Obviously, when you have a Nitish Kumar, a person of high integrity, high delivery, high efficiency, then it goes to this level of victory, and that is what you are seeing happen in Bihar. On the other hand, the options on the other hand was this stale old rhetoric, which was basically argument made by losers that look, we are not responsible, election commission has not done us right, they are wrong, those people are wrong, and this very cynical brand of politics के एक जाति को तोड़ो हिंदू में से, एक मजहब को ले लो, दोनों को combine करो and beat this idea of this सबका साथ सबका विकास.
Okay,
but
so
that has obviously not run its course in Bihar.
Nikhil Jain, the Congress hasn't, now he's talking about pro-incumbency, which has got associated very strongly with the BJP. The Congress hasn't retained power in any state whenever it's been elected since 2014. So it's never had a real second term, a second shot, unless, of course, they've had some ally to fall back on.
Rahul,
which just tells you everything, doesn't it?
Rahul, we can either discuss the state of Bihar and the state of democracy in this country, or we can discuss about a political party. I'm more concerned about the state of Bihar. I'm more concerned about the state of democracy. My good friend Shehzad points about, how this was an election between dynasty versus Kamdars. Who is Samrat Chaudhary? Is he not a dynast? Who is Ashok Chaudhary's daughter? Is she not part of NDA? Who is Chirag Paswan? Are they not dynasts? So first of all, half the arguments that are made by my friend from the BJP are hypocritical arguments. They apply to everybody. Hamam mein sabne utne hi kapde pehne hain, whether it was the Mahagathbandhan or whether it was the NDA. He talks about Mafia and Katta Raja. We forgetting what the candidate in Mokama, Anand Singh did. Shot a man, ran a vehicle over him, killed him. He talks about an age-old rhetoric. He talks about a positive campaign. Was that campaign positive? What was Prime Minister Modi going to Bihar and doing? Was he giving a report card of the 20 years of development, good governance, social welfare and all of that? Or was he talking about Katta, Kanpatti, this and that? It was entirely a negative campaign, trying to, inflame passions and trying to show the sword of fear in the name of Jungle Raj, something that supposedly happened 20 to 35 years ago.
Are the voters foolish in Bihar? Are you suggesting that they are foolish, or they're naive, or they are simple-minded?
Absolutely not, Rahul. For that, I will draw back to what the comments made by Mr. Das Gupta. He says that never underestimate the importance of election management. Absolutely, sir. You never underestimate.
You're using the term in a cynical sense. Management, you're trying to suggest is muscle and something else.
No. I'm trying to suggest that you don't need muscle.
Let me bring in. Hang on. Let me
just
bring
give me 10
back
seconds to complete. 10 seconds to complete, please. I'm not talking about bringing in muscles. I'm not talking about bringing in some, goons to capture booths. Why, when you can get the election commission on your side, when they are going to
the RJD
rig the polls,
is a cadre-based party. It has a strong cadre. Are you telling me that they can't mount an effective election machine? They can't get the mechanics right? I mean, what are you trying to say here? Hang on.
The entire garage is rigged, the machine, we can't do anything. And one stat can I give? 10 seconds? One stat. The RJD contested on the same number of seats in 2020 as it did in 2025, 143, 144. They've gotten the same vote share, 23%, 23%. Okay. However, previous time they got 75 seats, this time they've gotten 25 seats. How does that happen?
But that's because there might be polarization across a few seats, which is sort of giving you this big bounce. We'll come to Rahul Verma on that point. But just very quickly,
one second, let me talk about election management. Let's be specific as to what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you know that in BJP, I mean, Gujarat being an extreme example of perfection in terms of that, they have something called Panna Pramukh.
Yes.
Now, what does that mean?
That's true.
It means that every page of an electoral list Someone is put in charge of that.
So that they
now
can
it's
go
going
out
into
and-
that
Hey, one
micro
second,
detail.
let me just get Shadad
that's
Poonawala
what I mean
from
by
a
electoral.
BJP
Can I
to
just
no, just one second,
what
sir.
Mr.
One second,
Yeah.
one second. Let's just get Shadad Poonawala. Since his name was invoked and he has been essentially called a liar or a hypocrite, respond, Mr. Shadad Poonawala, to Nikhil Jain. You're holding up something.
Rahul, you know, the entire election can be defined in these two pictures. One is a picture of a devotee of Ma Sita and Prabhu Ram, Maithili Thakur, whose family left Bihar, who we gave the ticket to come and contest. She represents the real Gen Z of India. And then this is the man called Osama, who's been named after Osama bin Laden, and his father is Shahabuddin. So the choice was very clear that do you want khate mein paisa and sashактикаран for the Mahila of Bihar, or do you want to put the goli in the katta of Shahabuddin? And people of Bihar have taken this call. But see, the arrogance of Congress party, that after they have taken a call of their lived experience of Jungle Raj, they are being told down
No, but
by this
Shadad
Nikhil
Poonawala,
Jain
one
that
statistic
you have
let
only
me
won
point out
because
to you.
of election management.
Okay, you need to explain this a little with greater nuance, because look, it's not as if the BJP did not feel people with a criminal history. So I think it's about a 2% difference between the RJD criminals, alleged criminals who were given tickets, and the BJP. So, I mean, you're even Stevens on that count, some
Yeah.
people would say, and that's exactly what the
Let me-
Congress is saying.
let
And how
me
do you
weigh in
explain
on
the
that.
RJD getting
Let me-
fewer seats when the vote shares remains the same?
First, I'll answer the second question because their votes are in fewer pockets of communities. They are getting majority of the votes, as opposed to a BJP which has a wider social base. And today it has been established that the BJP social base extends from EBC, OBC, SC, ST, Muslim women, Yadav, everybody. So we are getting a much wider social base, and we are getting the votes from a wider social base across the plain, and they are getting in a very limited seats, they are getting most of the votes from one or two segments of society. So they may get a lot of votes, but it doesn't translate to seats, point one. Point two, now it's coming to the question of that we fielded some. देखिए राहुल जी, in the terms of Hindi, मैं शेर के सामने बकरी को नहीं लड़ा सकता. हमने भी शेर को लड़ाया, उन्होंने भी शेर को लड़ाया, but everyone in Bihar knows there's no institutional jungle raj by the BJP or the NDA. There is no Firoti being decided in the Chief Minister's house. There is no institutionalization of protection of the criminals and goons like it was done in Champa Vishwas case or in Shilpi Jain case. And Lalu Prasad Yadav is himself a convicted criminal. We give so much reverence to Lalu Prasad, we must stop this. He is a 5-time convicted criminal. But unfortunately, the Lutyens cabal does not want to call this out. Mr. Lalu Prasad has been convicted first time in 2013. Their president is a convict. And they are telling us.
Well, that's a fair point, isn't it? Sir, it's a fair point. I mean, you have a person under whose, as they say, AGs, you're fighting an election, who's actually been convicted and been to jail.
Well, that you were saying, the track record
And
of
you're
many,
promising progress.
No, but that contradiction is there in many political parties and
No, but
the
at that level, look, I mean, you're comparing Nitish Kumar, who has a spotless reputation. Let's not try to now smear him with the same brush. I mean, Lalu stands at a very different place in that sort of hierarchy of where people are who've committed misdemeanors. Surely you'll agree, sir.
No, I'm in total agreement. I'm against, inclusion of, criminals and convicted people in politics. All these things are there, but I don't think that the election was fought on that. I think what, Mr. Swapan Das Gupta was making some of the point there, I think they're very important and that needs to be debated and discussed how the two
No, but
sides
then there are also
fought elections.
reversals. Look, the BJP doesn't always get it right. And sometimes when their math is wrong, the chemistry
allow
works.
me to complete. No. Allow me to see, there is one side, NDA, the way it fought, not to talk of, the trust quotient and that kind of stature of Prime Minister, credibility, cash and delivery method, all these things. You look at the glaring, omissions on the other side. You look at Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. She is AICC General Secretary. For past 10 months, she does not have a, work allocation. Can you believe it? No work has been assigned to her. Now, if
maybe
that
she's
can happen
not cut out to work.
What?
Maybe
that
she's
is,
so privileged
if
that
that
she
is
doesn't
so,
want
let
to
it be.
work. I mean,
But what I'm saying is, there
maybe
is
she
no,
just said, no files, please, thank you. I'm just here for the decoration. which is what it appeared to me when she stepped in after 55 years of being sitting on the sidelines, suddenly gets a ticket and becomes...
Politician.
I mean, on what basis is she a serious politician? What legacy does she bring to the table, apart from her surname?
She has won Lok Sabha elections.
Which elections has she won? She's won one.
So,
and that too,
one election,
at a seat that was, and that too at a seat that was a safe seat. No, Rahul Verma, come on. There is a certain
I was responding to what Swapanda was saying, and I was saying that, look, there are a lot of things, the way election was fought, there is no election management mechanism in the Congress party. And there has been a lot of, since 2014, they outsource it. They are spending crores of rupees in outsourcing and getting one Sunil Kanugolu or one other person.
In Telangana, they win. They win in Himachal. So clearly there's certain, so there's something more here, isn't there? I mean, there is a leader and there is a trust and there is a certain guarantee that people...
They won a by-election today. Yeah.
I know, that's right. So, I mean, obviously there is something odd here. And there are many states in which the Congress hasn't been in power for 30, 40 years.
So what is the question?
The question is very simple. Can we divorce Modi, the brand, from electoral mechanics as we see it, which is machinery and manpower? Can we say, no, somehow those subsume
Rahul,
him?
Let me answer the first math question because that's my area. MGB's vote percentage in this election is 37.
Yeah.
It was same in 2020, right?
Yeah.
NDA's vote percentage in 2020 was 37 again.
Yeah.
In this election, their vote share is 46.
Yeah.
So NDA's vote share has risen. Because of that, the seat conversion in favor of NDA is going to be multiple folds.
Very high, yes.
Right? And their vote share is largely rising because from 37, if you add Chirag Paswan of 5%, it goes to 42, 43, and they brought some additional vote, right? So seat conversion story is there. It's not in constituencies and communities and management in the other way of thinking about.
But isn't it also true, Rahul Verma, one quick point, that in some of the Yadav bastions, I mean, look at the struggle that our man Tejashwi had trying to win his own seat. I mean, I think it was 9 rounds, the man was trailing.
Sure, see,
in a Yadav bastion.
Given the kind of, this is...
the Yadavs don't trust him.
RJD's
with their future.
RJD's second worst performance since its formation, right? So and
they start with an advantage of 26%, if I'm not mistaken, and they've actually polled fewer votes than even the...
but that could be sort of like math of 143 seats. But what I'm trying to say simply is that MGB has collapsed in this election. Given that collapse,
who's to blame?
See.
What's led to the collapse?
There are many factors, but one by one. It has collapsed. That means across every segment, across every region, whatever we thought was a factor to analyze Bihar election, today has been flattened. Absolutely. Right? And so not just among Yadav, look at what is happening among Muslims as well, right? They got those 4 MLAs from AIMM and MIM has again won there. So I think even within their core constituency, there has been a breach today that has happened.
Yes.
Even among the poor and Dalits, which CPI-ML had got last time, they have also lost. So I think that divide has been flattened. Now the question is what basically created this sort of like collapse of MGB. I think first, MGB needs to realize, both RJD and Congress, that what has happened to them, they are mostly responsible for it, right? They misread right from 2024. Congress has been misreading the 99 seats that they got there. And that's why they got the drubbing in Haryana, in Maharashtra, even they were not able to perform any better in Delhi. Jammu and Kashmir and Jharkhand, where their allies won, Congress had no role to play in that victory, right? And so Congress must understand that what happened in 2024 may be partly of its hard work, like some work that Rahul Gandhi and the party might have put, but they shouldn't overread that mandate in that sense. They should have worked more on this. Second, I think, they did SIR, Vote Chori Yatra, fine, but after that, in next 3 months, they thought they have won the election, right? They behaved as if they have won the election. A party that is trying to come back to power should have not been spending 20 days after announcement of election. Who's going to get which seat? And they are basically flying
because
between Patna
one of
and
the
Delhi.
leaders who takes decisions was traveling. He took a time off.
Oh, so that's
For 60 days, he was missing from a campaign that he launched.
No,
So, I mean, come on. What are we
Rahul-
talking about here? We're talking about all sorts of things, viewers, but we're not addressing, I don't know why we are being so
Rahul,
politically
sometimes
correct, the elephant in the room. And that elephant in the room are the Gandhis. I'll come to them. I'll come to them because the Prime Minister has his own theory as to why the Congress has messed up. But I think Shadat Poonawala wanted to make a point on what Rahul Verma was saying. Shadat, would you like to come in and make your point? And then I want to bring in Mr. Das Gupta on the larger problems within the Congress and the opposition and what it actually means for democracy in this country. Yes, go ahead.
No, see, largely Rahul Verma hasn't said anything that I want to actually contradict in any way, but I just want to remind everybody that this is also, apart from the other factors that we're discussing, the first election after Operation Sindoor. And the manner in which Rahul Gandhi targeted Operation Sindoor, then he abused Prime Minister saying कि ये नाचेगा stage पे. Then he took it a next level to abusing the Prime Minister's mother. Then Congress abused Bihari people and called them BD, which DMK does routinely. And then they topped it up by abusing Chhat Puja. So this abuse politics was also something that Rahul Gandhi and his ilk did deliberately. And that has also come to haunt them in a very bad way. And I would like to know from the audiences that Bihar is a microcosm of what Bharat thinks about Operation Sindoor. That has also been convincingly established. They don't buy Rahul's rubbish that we have surrendered.
Okay, so one second. Very quickly, Mr. Jain, please respond, because you have a situation where Rahul Gandhi says surrender Modi, Modi vote chor, Feku Modi, targets it all at Mr. Modi. Clearly the campaign was about him versus Mr. Modi. He's lost. He couldn't hold his own against Modi.
Rahul, first of all, thanks for telling your viewers that Rahul Gandhi was targeting Narendra Modi and not the forces, unlike the BJP claims. Number two, if
But it hasn't worked, isn't it?
If Rahul Gandhi was
Mr. Modi responsible and say that he surrendered India's national interest, the voter hasn't bought it. So clearly there's a credibility crisis. The messenger is not trusted. Rahul Gandhi is not trusted. People don't believe him when he says Modi surrendered.
See, the election was fought on multiple planks. Rahul Gandhi made multiple personal remarks against
He went
Narendra
on a
Modi.
yatra, sir, alleging that Modi conspires with the election commission to thieve votes.
And
People
is
have
it
not
not
heard
one
him.
of the-
They've
is it not-
reduced his party to a rump element of the MGB.
Rahul, you can't just deny and look at the numbers. The vote share of the Congress is the same as it was in 2020, despite the fact that they contested on much lesser seats. They contested on 70 seats and managed a 9.48%.
Those are different reasons for it. You could
Not
have just
really,
been
Rahul. What has
confined
happened
to
at
seats.
play is
Yeah.
gerrymandering.
Please respond on a
please do.
psychological note.
Can I please respond
Mr.
to your
Verma,
earlier
respond.
point about how the NDA has a wider social base? You're discounting for the fact that the RJD is contesting on 143 seats only, and whatever vote that it gets from the Congress or other partners in the alliance, that it would have gotten even in 2020 and it would get even in 2025. Whatever transferability would be there.
It's 37. Their number increased from 37 to 46. So if the other side has more votes, they will win the seat. There is nothing complicated here.
Some members in the other side, like the LJP, which got 0 the previous time,
Oh, please. There are
got in
certain
20, that is
seats-
understandable. What about the RJD?
There are
This
certain
reminds me of what
seats where-
Pranab Mukherjee once told me when after he lost the election in Karnataka, and I asked him, Pranab Babu, why did the Congress lose? He said, because the others got more votes.
There you go. It's a very simple equation, viewers. And Shashi Tharoor and many others in the Congress now are beginning to ask questions. We're, of course, going to look at those in just a few moments. Spoke to Ravi Shankar Prasad. Let's go straight across to Ravi Shankar Prasad. He joined us a little while back and he talked to us a little bit about why the BJP has done so fantastically well. Let's go straight across. Because we are also joined by Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, needs no introduction, a person who has been singularly associated with Bihar politics for decades now, a person who is extremely influential across castes and is known to have great associations across party lines also. So very senior leader of the BJP here with us, been of course a minister at the center. Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, congratulations, it's 2 o'clock. The number of seats that the NDA has been able to sort of win is 201. This is unprecedented, it's 2010 once again. Under Mr. Modi, the 5th election that the NDA is winning by thumping margins in Bihar. What do you put this down to, sir?
Well, Rahul Shivshankar, you have followed the polity of India. Thank you for the kind words. It is a victory of hope. It is a victory of trust. And it is a victory of confidence कि अब बिहार को इसी रास्ते पर चलना है आगे के लिए. And this trust is also in the leadership of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. He has taken a personal guarantee for development of Bihar, the way he visited, the way he launched projects, the way he connected with the people of Bihar. You know, today in Chhath festival, Rahul Shivshankar, thousands of Biharis from all over the country drove to their respective villages by car.
Yes.
Unthinkable to celebrate Chhath. This is a change. There is electricity in all the villages, good connectivity. You may have, if you want to see Patna, go and see the new airport of Patna. I'm the chairman of that committee, and see what a great facility it has come about, the Vande Bharat. Plus for poor people, feeding them, the way Nitish Kumar government did for the women, from Cycle Yojana to many of the mothers who were given cycled in 2005 and the school dress today have become mother themselves. And plus the Ajivika Didis. All these has worked together to see the development of Bihar, the way ethanol industry, the way the garment industry is coming to Patna. So many biscuit factories have come to Bihar. All this changing narrative of Bihar. Even Coca-Cola is setting up 2 facilities in Bihar. So people are seeing all that happen. And they also recall the dangerous days of the Jungle Raj, what used to happen in Lalu Prasad regime. And Mr. Tejashwi Yadav is a version of that. And if the son of Shahabuddin, Osama, can be projected as a savior of Muslims and given tickets in a flamboyant manner, this sends a message that there is no change at all. That's how it sees the result.
So within even the NDA, the BJP has outperformed all other parties. In fact, it's the single largest party. What do you put this down to?
Well, the reply is very straight. Both were contesting the same number of seats. They are close to each other. So therefore, don't segregate it in a very, very big way. Our understanding is very good. We are in coalition for the last more than 30-40 years now, from 1996, except 2 hiccups when he went to RJD and got disenchanted very soon and came back. So this is how it has worked out. And I would assume that this kind of stable coalition polity is also an important lesson which the BJP and JDU and the NDA has established over the years. We don't contest only for the sake of election, but we work with a proper strategy, proper background, proper commitment. Then people come with you. You don't join for the sake of it, for the heck of it. And you don't contest against each other, the way Amit Shah ji settled all the dissidents in the whole system. These all are indications of that.
So that bonhomie continues. Nitish Kumar ji is going to be the CM for the next 5 years, one presumes.
Is there any vacancy, Rahul?
No, I don't see it.
Is there any vacancy?
No, I don't see it. Number of people, however, have been saying that, oh, you know, the BJP, when it takes a lead over alliance partners, you know what they're saying. And then, of course, there are others who are saying that this is a 10,000 election. How would you respond to these people? And you know who I'm talking about.
ऐसे लोगों को छोड़ दीजिए ना. आज के दिन मैं इस पर नहीं जाऊंगा. Rahul Shivshankar, today is a great day for us. Let the signs of desperation remain desperate. Today is the great result of hope, of confidence, of trust. Let us celebrate that.
That's a very nice iteration.
Thank you.
Well, last question, sir. Last question. What does this mean for the BJP in the next round of elections, Bihar and Assam? Will there be now a knock-on effect? Do you see this continuing, this arc?
सबसे पहले बंगाल को हैंडल करेंगे हमारे पड़ोस में.
Wonderful.
वहाँ बदलाव बहुत जरूरी है.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, well, congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
because this is